What if the most powerful dollar coins in America are not the ones people spend, but the ones they overlook? On Legacy Coins USA, today we're uncovering the hidden story behind the 2007 D. George Washington and Millard Fillmore presidential dollar coins. Two historic pieces filled with mystery, edge lettering intrigue, collector demand, and surprising numismatic power. Stay with me till the end, because these modern dollar coins may look ordinary, but the right detail could turn them into a discovery worth remembering. Let's get started. First up, the 2007 D. Millard Fillmore presidential dollar is one of those modern American coins that can look simple at first glance. Yet the deeper you go, the more history, politics, and numismatic meaning it begins to reveal. This coin was issued as part of the United States presidential $1 coin program, a major series created to honor deceased presidents of the United States in the order they served. Millard Fillmore, the 13th president, held office from 1850 to 1853, and his dollar coin was released in 2007 by the Denver Mint, which is why it carries the D Mint mark. The coin says United States of America and Liberty, while the reverse features the Statue of Liberty, a design used throughout the presidential dollar series. What gives the coin its unusual look is that important inscriptions such as the date, mint mark, E pluribus unum, and I in God we trust were placed on the edge rather than fully on the front or back, making this series feel different from many traditional U.S. coins. This coin was created for more than simple circulation. It was designed as part of a national historical program meant to reconnect Americans with presidential history while also promoting the use of $1 coins in everyday commerce. The U.S. Mint hoped that a changing presidential design would attract public attention and increase interest in dollar coins, much like the State Quarters program had done with 25-cent pieces. In that sense, the Millard Fillmore dollar was both a piece of money and a public history lesson. It reminded people of a president who is often overshadowed in mainstream history, and it gave collectors a fresh, organized presidential series to follow year by year. For numismatists, this was important because it transformed modern dollar coins into an ongoing historical archive in metal. Millard Fillmore himself is one reason this coin attracts curiosity. He is not one of the most famous American presidents, which actually gives the coin a certain dramatic tension. Fillmore became president after the death of Zachary Taylor and served during a tense period in U.S. history, especially around the growing national conflict over slavery and regional power. That means this dollar coin is tied to a presidency that sat in an uneasy, transitional moment in American political history. For a collector, that adds weight. A coin is never just metal when it represents a person, an office, and a difficult historical era. Even though this is a modern issue, its subject matter reaches back into a period of national strain, compromise, and political uncertainty. From a technical and numismatic standpoint, the 2007 D. Millard Fillmore dollar is not a silver coin and not a precious metal rarity by default. It is made from a manganese brass-clad composition over a copper core, which gives it that golden appearance many viewers notice immediately. It weighs about 8.1 grams and measures 26.5 millimeters in diameter. These coins were produced in large numbers, so most normal circulated examples are not rare in the dramatic sense that viral claims often suggest. However, that does not make them unimportant. In modern numismatics, value often shifts away from simple mintage and toward quality, preservation, eye appeal, and unusual mint-made mistakes. That is where a common modern dollar can begin to separate itself from the crowd point. One of the most famous collecting angles for early presidential dollars is the edge lettering. Because the inscriptions were placed on the edge, minting mistakes in this area became especially important. Some coins were released without edge lettering, and those became widely known to collectors and the public. In the early years of the series, these dramatic edge lettering errors created major excitement and gave the presidential dollars an identity beyond ordinary circulation coinage. So when people examine a 2007 D. Millard Fillmore dollar carefully, they are not just checking the front and back. They are also checking the edge, because that narrow band can completely change the coin's collector status. A normal coin may remain modest, but an authentic edge lettering error or other true mint abnormality can turn the coin into something far more desirable, in terms of value. The truth is more grounded and more professional than sensational online claims. Most circulated 2007 D. Millard Fillmore dollars are worth about face value or only a small premium, especially if they show wear dullness or heavy contact marks. Uncirculated examples with better luster and cleaner surfaces are usually worth more, but still often remain affordable. Where the stronger demand appears is in high-grade certified coins, especially examples graded at the upper end by major grading services, and in genuine mint errors. The market rewards sharp, clean, attractive pieces because most modern coins were not preserved with much care. A top-condition survivor can become much more desirable than an average example, and an error coin can move into an entirely different level of attention. As for demand in the United States, this coin has a real collector audience, though not the kind of mass everyday demand once hoped for by the mint. In commerce, presidential dollar coins never became widely loved by the public, and large stockpiles built up because people preferred paper $1 bills. That weak circulation demand eventually changed the future of the series. By late 2011, the federal government stopped producing presidential dollars for general circulation because so many remained unused in storage. After that, the series continued mainly for collectors in numismatic form until its conclusion. So in a very real sense, the Millard Fillmore dollar belongs to a larger story of ambition, disappointment, and collector survival. It came from a bold national program, but the program itself struggled to win public behavior. That makes the 2007 D. Millard Fillmore dollar more interesting than many people first realize. It is a modern U.S. coin tied to a national historical series, a lesser-known president, an unusual edge lettering format, and a period when the mint was trying to change how Americans thought about dollar coins. Its numismatic importance comes not from fantasy millionaire storytelling, but from context, preservation, and possible errors. If you own one, the smartest thing to do is examine the surfaces, check the edge lettering carefully, note the Denver Mint origin, and judge the overall condition honestly. In raw circulated form it is usually modest, but in high grade or with a genuine mint mistake it can become much more collectible. That is the real power of this coin. It proves that even a modern dollar can carry history, controversy, design innovation, and collector suspense all at once. Keep a close eye on your change because that hidden treasure might be sitting right in your pocket. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a big find. Stay tuned, because in the next video, we're diving into another legendary coin that could be worth a small fortune. Next up, the 2007 D. George Washington Presidential Dollar stands as one of the most important modern $1 coins ever issued by the United States, not because it is automatically rare in every form, but because it opened an entire presidential coin series with the man who became the nation's first president. This coin was created as part of the Presidential $1 coin program, a major U.S. mint project designed to honor deceased presidents in the exact order they served. George Washington, as the first president of the United States from 1789 to 1797, was the natural beginning of that series, and the 2007 D issue from the Denver Mint became one of the most recognized modern dollar coins among collectors. On the obverse appears Washington's portrait with his presidential years, while the reverse features the Statue of Liberty, linking presidential memory with national symbolism in a clean, modern design. This coin was made for several reasons at once, and that gives it much more depth than a casual viewer might expect. It was not struck only to be spent in stores or dropped into vending machines. It was also made to educate the public, renew interest in American history, and encourage broader use of dollar coins in circulation. The U.S. Mint wanted these coins to do what few modern coins had done in years: make people look closely again. By placing a different president on each issue, the Mint hoped to turn ordinary money into a moving historical collection. In that sense, the George Washington dollar was both a coin and a national statement. It launched a new chapter in modern numismatics and reminded the public that the story of the presidency could be carried in the palm of a hand. The design itself carries some unusual technical features that make this coin more interesting than many earlier dollar issues. Unlike traditional coins where the date and mint mark usually appear clearly on the front or back, the presidential dollars place the date, mint mark, e pluribus unum, and in God we trust on the edge. That decision made the coin feel more innovative, but it also introduced one of the most talked about error areas in the series. For collectors, the edge is not a minor detail on this coin. It is one of the first places to inspect. The 2007 D. George Washington dollar became famous in numismatic circles because some examples left the mint without the edge lettering, creating a dramatic and highly discussed mint error that gave the coin instant collector energy. Historically, the coin gains power because of the man it honors. George Washington was not just the first president in order. He became the symbolic beginning of the American presidency itself. He carried the burden of setting standards for executive leadership in a new republic, and his reputation for restraint, military leadership, and political significance made him larger than the office before the office itself fully found its shape. That gives the coin a kind of built-in authority. Even people who do not collect coins often feel that a George Washington issue should matter. When that historical importance combines with its status as the very first presidential dollar, the result is a modern coin with unusually strong symbolic weight. From a physical standpoint, the 2007 D. George Washington dollar is a manganese brass-clad coin over a copper core, which gives it a golden appearance rather than a true gold composition. It weighs about 8.1 grams and measures 26.5 millimeters in diameter. That means it is a substantial modern dollar coin in hand, but not a precious metal issue by default. The D mint mark shows it was struck in Denver, and for collectors that matters because Denver and Philadelphia coins can have different collecting patterns, quality ranges, and survival stories. In normal circulated condition, many of these coins remain fairly common because they were produced in large numbers. But large mintage alone never tells the whole story. In modern numismatics, condition, I appeal, and mint errors often mean more than raw production totals. The value story of this coin is where many people become confused, especially when exaggerated online claims start spreading. Most ordinary circulated 2007 D. George Washington dollars are not worth astonishing sums. In worn condition, they are usually close to face value, with perhaps a modest premium depending on demand and presentation. Cleaner uncirculated coins can be worth more, particularly if they still show good luster and fewer contact marks. But the real collector attention rises sharply when the coin appears in very high certified grades, or when it has a genuine mint error. The missing edge lettering variety is especially famous and can bring much stronger interest than a standard issue. This is where the coin becomes more than a basic dollar. It becomes a true modern variety and error hunt. Demand for this coin in the United States is real, though it exists more strongly among collectors than in everyday public use. The presidential dollar series had a bold national purpose, but it never fully changed American spending habits. Most people continued preferring the $1 bill, and that weakened the circulation role of these coins. Even though they were historically rich and visually distinctive, they did not become a permanent everyday favorite in commerce. Over time, large quantities remained unused in storage. That eventually led to a major change in production policy, and in 2011 the government stopped making presidential dollars for general circulation, continuing them afterward mainly for collectors. So this George Washington dollar belongs to a bigger national story. A powerful launch, public curiosity, but limited long-term success in daily use. For serious collectors, the up and down of this coin depends on several things. If the coin is heavily marked, dull, or circulated, the value usually stays modest. If it is bright, sharply preserved, and certified at the upper end of the grading scale, interest increases significantly. If it shows a well-known error like missing edge lettering or another verified mint-made abnormality, the value can rise much more dramatically. This is why no honest evaluation can be based on the date alone. A 2007 D. George Washington dollar in average shape and a 2007 D. George Washington dollar with a major mint error are not living in the same market story. One is a common modern issue. The other is a special collector event. In numismatics, the smallest production difference can completely change the conversation. What makes this coin truly compelling is that it combines political history, modern mint experimentation, public ambition, and collector suspense all in one piece. It honors the first president, launches a major national coin program, uses a special edge lettering format, and became associated with one of the most famous modern U.S. coin errors. That is why it continues to hold attention long after its release. The smartest way to approach it is with excitement balanced by realism. Check the edge carefully. Confirm the Denver origin. Study the condition. Look for strong luster, minimal marks, and any unusual production traits. Because while most examples are not hidden fortunes, the right example can absolutely stand out. And that is the real drama of the 2007 D. George Washington presidential dollar. a modern coin that began as a public history lesson, stumbled into a famous error story, and secured its place as one of the most talked about coins of its generation. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my channel.